Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Friday, November 20th, 2020. I'm Crypto Jack and I'm hosting today's show. Alongside me today, of course, I have our analysts Jason and Alex. How are you guys doing today? You coming in?
Friday, everyone. Bitcoin's on a tear, isn't it?
Sure looks like it. Welcome, Alex. That's Alex we're hearing. Senior analyst Alex in the background. All right, guys. So today's plan, we're going to be doing a slightly shorter show. We're not going to go to full 2 hours. It is Friday after all, guys. And you know what is there really to say? Bitcoin is continuing its bullish parabolic run up, which of course rallied again this morning, defying the doubters who thought it was going to begin looking toppy. But seems like new all-time highs by the end of the week or even the end of the month. What do you guys think? Were we positioning to make history here?
We're definitely setting up for it, and I think it's important to mention, especially like now that we're starting to see these parabolic movements and such price differentials every day, that like what we need to be focusing on right now is the plan on how we're going to be trading this, rather than is it going to go up, is it going to go down, is it like I don't think we need to necessarily be right here. We just need to plan accordingly to get the most profit out of this without getting wrecked, because at some point we're going to get a retracement. We don't know when that is going to be. We can only follow our systems, but as of right now, I mean, things look bullish to me. What do you think, Alex?
We're still above the baseline. We made a new high. I can't say it looks bullish because it doesn't look bullish. Everybody knows I still feel bearish about it, but I don't know what to say. That price continues making new highs.
Yep. I mean, and that's my sentiment as well. I mean, yesterday with the 4-hour continuation long, which was posted right here, is when we got the signal. Like I was feeling the same as you emotionally. Like, oh man, I mean, we could be gassed out here. I'm not sure if I want to take this, but at the same time, like, why did we build the systems if we're not going to follow them? You know, like, you got to make sure we take the emotion out. And so far, man, we just keep powering through. I mean, how high can we go? New all-time highs? I mean, I think it's within the cards.
That's a big question mark, yeah.
And that's why I bring up, like, I don't think the conversation needs to be steered towards, are we going to be right and hit a new all-time high? Like, I just don't think that's what we need to be doing. What we need to be doing is following our systems, which have us in a trade right now. And if it does continue to go up, that's awesome.
Well, I have a question. Do we even really want to be in Bitcoin right now, or are Ethereum and the other alts a better choice?
Yeah, good call, because I was right about to bring up the fact that if we look at Ethereum today, we also see it's had a major breakout, cresting over 500 today. So it seems like it's a big day for the leading smart contract platform ahead of its 2.0.
Bitcoin looks like it might be a reversal in the offing.
Indeed. I got one story here lined up from Cointelegraph that has to do with Ethereum basically hitting 500 for the first time since June 2018, guys. So, like, seriously, it's been almost two and a half years since we've seen these type of Ethereum prices. It's crazy. And if this Cointelegraph article is correct, this is actually outperforming BTC year to date. But that's also probably because BTC was did have that pump last year in 2019 that did see us come up. So maybe that's kind of skewing the data here, because I do feel like Bitcoin is the major performer this year that everybody's buzzing about at this point. But all right. So I'm going to quickly scroll through the chat, say hi to everybody in the live chat who's joining us today, and then we'll probably get into like a quick analysis. Again, we'll kind of do the abbreviated form here, guys. So, or the abridged analysis, so we won't take up too much time of our analysts today. It is a Friday. I know people want to kind of relax and all that, so we'll keep it casual, guys. In the meantime, I'm going to move over to Alex's, I'm going to go over to my browser scene here, or my Discord scene. And I got Alex's chart on the screen, and then really quickly, I'm just going to take a look at the live chat. Let's take a look. Boris Bitcoin was first in here. He said first. Subtext was in here second. Hello to Subtext. Mr. Ether is in here, locked in all the way to 22,000, says Mr. Ether. We got a couple requests coming in from Subtext. Ron Legato saying hello. Victor Fryer, hello everybody. Damian Hughes says his profits are locked. Kyle Mitchell, evening everybody. And Jordan A, Mr. Unicorn, who says that all-time high could be tagged here. Thoughts on holding a trade at these levels over the weekend? Yeah, we'll probably explore those thoughts. Damian Hughes, this feels like alt season to me because one, alts are crushing it all month, and two, I don't see many news articles saying that we're in an alt season. Yep, two very good observations that could very well put us in the middle of an alt season, or at least a quiet one. S. Hyatt, evening gents, he says, and ladies, of course. Yes, Mr. Hyatt. We have to acknowledge everybody here. Damon Hughes, there's already 4 dislikes on this video because you won't go 2 hours. Tough luck, boys. Pile in the dislikes if you like. We're only going 1 hour.
Don't like it anyways.
Yeah, you guys.
Trying to threaten me.
Those 4 to 7 dislikes come in no matter what. So let's just let's not sweat it too much, guys. Mr. Ether says, I think we're gonna hit.
Extorted by terrorists here at Cracking Cryptocurrency. We will fight on the shores of every digital news place if we have to. We will not stand for dislike extortion.
Okay. You got it. Subtextually, won't Ethereum pull back a little here though? Yeah, we're gonna definitely look at the. We're gonna do a little case study on the Ethereum here in the very shortly, so we'll explore that thesis. Andrew asked for a couple different coins for sure. David Rice says hello. Longbeard's in here. B-Flow's in here. John Love the show says hi, and Andrew. Okay, so I think I said hi to everybody, and I think we're good to transition into the main analysis scene. I'm just going to hit the like button because I didn't click that yet, I noticed. And that means everybody else who didn't click like, now's your opportunity to click like. I see somebody else just clicked it. Brilliant. All right, Alex, you are up. I got your screen on the screen. Take us through a quickie BTC.
Yeah, I'm just only going to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum here right now. I don't really feel like doing a whole lot of charting today.
No worries.
Yeah, we're going to let Jason do a lot of piloting today. So, for this spot, lower time frames, Bitcoin is definitely topped out here. I would expect maybe a retest of 18.35, 18.4 from the upside. I still feel as if we're topped out on other time frames, but that's neither here nor there. This I feel fairly confident about right here. What I would like to see, I think over the weekend is just a return to this trading range. I don't think it's like we're gonna over the weekend we're gonna drop down to 13K or anything like that. I mean we've pushed pretty high into this spot. It wouldn't even be bearish for us to just sit and trade sideways over the weekend before continuing onwards here. So I'm pretty skeptical of this pump to 18.7 right here. As far as Ethereum, that's really a different story. Ethereum here having a major breakout above daily, weekly, monthly, whatever you want to consider resistance in this spot. It's just over baseline. Really annoying. Yeah. So breakout here. Daily view. Above this. So we will have a little bit of resistance here in this spot. But at this point, I expect us to hold over this area and eventually continue onwards into the $800 range. If we take a look over at Ethereum Bitcoin, we appear to have what looks like a real reversal. So double bottom here in this spot. Bottom 1, bottom 2, reaction off the bottom, break of this trend line. We're still in this rather large descending wedge pattern. So I mean, I wouldn't necessarily I wouldn't throw a party yet, but it looks pretty good here. We got a nice bullish divergence here on lower time frames too. It's not going to take much for us to just break out of here and move upwards. This is a move of what? 20% move here. And all of that would be pure Ethereum move. None of that would be Bitcoin USD. So even from this range, if Ethereum, so if Bitcoin held sideways, Ethereum did that 20% move, what would that look like? Hold on, let me zoom out here. Yeah, it puts us in the $600 range, which is a resistance level possibly there for us. Support here, resistance here, some support here. Support, resistance, yeah. Okay, so near term, I think a decent target just from looking at the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. If we do get a breakout from this spot, if we return to this point of control right here, I'd say roughly that put us in the $600 range. So I think Ethereum is looking more bullish than Bitcoin is in this spot just because of the fact that Ethereum has been trading sideways for so long and is just now getting its breakout versus Bitcoin, who had a breakout about 60% ago and hasn't had a big pullback yet. So that's why I'm saying, Ethereum looks more bullish in that sense. I guess that's really all I really have to say about the majors right now. I don't expect huge moves over the weekend, but for a swing trade, Ethereum looks good for breakout. For the weekend, Bitcoin looks like it probably wants to cool down a little bit. But I think if your systems are firing longs, I would take them right now. I'm not looking for any shorts on Bitcoin. So we're definitely still really far above the baseline on Bitcoin. Baseline I think is around 16.5 right now. Let me take a look at that. 16.588 says right here. So
60.
16.5. Yeah, 16.5.
No, is that the 60 hole?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Good old 60 hole. Your friend and mine. So following along with it would have done us good here too. So I'm gonna turn it over to Jason. I didn't want to do a lot of charting today.
No worries.
Why don't you talk a little bit about your systems, Jason?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna quickly switch to Jason's screen. So before you go pointing anything out, let me just quickly switch Discord scenes. Here we go. All right, Jason, we got you on the show.
All right, cool. All right, well, the first one I'll go to here is this is basically the first system that I ever made after joining Kraken Crypto, which utilizes the 13 EMA, Minx, time transformation, and WADA ATAR. And basically looking at Bitcoin, because I'm going to do this a little bit different than Alex does, because of course Alex is talking about different price levels and stuff like that, on speculation on where price might move, stuff like that. And in systems trading, you don't do nearly as much of that, as much as you just back test and then listen to your data. So looking at this system right here, and if you were following it correctly, which I actually went down to lower time frames to get a tighter stop, so I could actually put a little bit more risk into the trade on the 4-hour. But on the daily here, if we were following along, so what was this? 4 days ago, we did get a continuation long signal here on the daily on the 13 EMA baseline. You do not need WADA ATAR for a confirmation of a. Sorry, I've got a loop here. Is that you, Alex?
I don't think so. I was just muted for a second.
Yeah, I just heard my own voice and it threw me for a second. Okay, but yes. Anyways, back to this. So a continuation long does not need WADA's confirmation, but in this case we do get it. So this was a good signal. Would have had you in at the close of this, which would be 17,680, with the first take profit of 18,462, which did get hit, which would have you actually. I think this one. Nope. So it just got hit today, which would now have you in with TP1 with the stop loss now at break even, which would have you at 16,719 for a stop loss, which would have you in a great trade right now. And that's the whole point of the system is so now going into the weekend, you don't really have to worry about what price does. If it wants to decide to keep running like it has been, that's awesome. You've already locked in your first TP. Your stop loss is at break even. I kind of side with Alex this weekend, though, on the speculation of price. I do think that we might gas out a little bit here if weekends historically work the way that they usually do. We'll get a little bit of a sell-off and some ranging. I don't think we're going to get a crazy wick to the downside quite yet. I think we might tap the 13 baseline, which would put us at like 16,718 currently, which is moving up pretty quickly with price. So I do expect this weekend to kind of gas out maybe a little bit, which would give enough room for like Ethereum, Bitcoin, like Alex was just talking about, to really spread its wings. So that's what I'm going to be looking for this weekend. Currently on the 4-hour strategy that got signaled out to the group, we took the continuation long right here. Not very much drawdown to deal with. We hit TP1. Stop loss now at break even. We're kind of in the same situation here, just kind of seeing what's going to happen with price. Now that we've locked in our profits, we don't really have to be right, if you know what I mean. So like the whole point of the system itself is we're not really trying to be right. We're just trying to get an edge in the market. And if anyone's following along in the group with the signals, I think we've been doing a pretty good job lately.
Yeah, you've been on fire this last like couple of weeks, dude.
Well,
Didn't I hear you got 16 out of 16 in a row?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
scalping the 15-minute. That was you gotta love that volatility, guys. I mean, it's just crazy that we're getting all. And what really excites me about the future is if this really is going to be what it is, and we do get parabolic movements out of Bitcoin, this volatility is going to be a commonplace thing. So, like, if we really start to moon here, I'm gonna be so excited to start running my 15-minute scalping, and hopefully get Johnny to bot some of those for me.
No kidding. We gotta do that somewhere on live stream. We were talking the other day.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to just live trade the 15-minute and just bullshit with you guys. And I mean, you guys out there listening, like, feel free at the end of the shows or even in the comment section to throw out ideas. Like, we're always up for new ideas. We want to get more content out to you guys that you actually want to see, stuff like that. And I think live trading would just be fun. But looking at this in the meantime, I do think Bitcoin's in for a little bit of a pullback here, at least to like 18.3. I'm currently in a position, but stop loss is at break even, not really caring what it does. Currently, stop loss is at 18,007, so I feel pretty safe for the weekend. Like I said, if we do decide to sell up here, whatever, I will be out of that trade, and then most likely looking to buy the dip over the weekend, to be honest with you, because I think that we still have chances for all-time highs within the next 2 months. But that'll come probably Sunday night. I'll probably know whether I have a signal or not.
Are you looking at the 2-day?
I just switched to the 2-day. This is the Wada strat that I've been running on the 2-day. Which, hold on, why is
Tell us a little bit about it.
I will here. Hold on, I'm not sure why it's gone.
There was never a strat. I knew it. I knew it. You're just that good naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not. I really don't know where that went. That's super odd. Maybe I gotta refresh the tab. I know
That's
I
really
have
confusing, man.
it should be the very top strategy, which is super odd. And I know people are gonna get a little weirded out by this strategy, but okay, thank you. 17,000. Wow. Just now alerting me.
Solid work, Trading View.
There we go. Okay, so I know people are going to get on me about this, but so far, this strategy has produced a perfect hit rate over the past 3 years. I know that there is going to be a point where it doesn't anymore, but all I can do is continue to follow it until it doesn't. And what I've been basing this off of is this strategy here I've fine-tuned using, I believe it's the 50 EMA. Me and Saintsy worked together on this one, building this one. 50 simple moving average over the last 3 years. Actually, default settings on the WADA strat tester for the WADA, and you just enable take profit. This strategy itself is looking for a 2.1% movement off of close, which on the 2-day, and I have been posting these to the group as well. I know that some people get a little upset about the risk to reward, but the stop on this is not designed to be hit or even get close to. That's why some people are like, well, the stop is way too far away from where the take profit is. I understand that, but the design is not to get wicked out and to be patient. Sometimes you can get stuck in some drawdown, but if you're really looking at the time frame of this, it's not that long. 2-day candle, okay. But this one signaled right, and it got in and out before it sold all the way off, and then all of a sudden you get back in, boom, boom, boom. You just slowly keep getting these little movements. And as volatility continues to expand, I might actually have to start tinkering with this to see if I can actually get more percentage out of it as each candle starts to have more volatility. But for now, it's working great. I'm super pleased with it. When I've initially discovered this, to be honest with you, like it just seems kind of silly to be like, hey guys, I have 100% strategy. I mean, it's silly.
I admit to suggesting that it was overfit. I was like, you should probably go back to drawing board. That's probably a really bad strategy.
And I agree, because I mean curve fitting can be a thing, but in my mind I'm like, well, I mean, if this is working and I manually go back and look at it, if it's working, don't fix what's not broken or run it until it doesn't. That's the whole important thing about risk management here. And I know people get on me a little bit, it's like, dude, why aren't you putting more risk in these trades? It's because this is not a guarantee, man. Like at some point one of these signals will go bad. And if you're not position sizing
for quite a while.
What's that?
You could be in drawdown for quite a while.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the whole thing. If you're not position sized correctly, you're going to sit in that and then you're just going to get murdered. If you are position sized correctly, you're going to take that L and you're going to move on. Like it's just how it works. Like when we over leverage, when we do something, we tend to hang on to it way too long. So, I mean, like all of these signals, if you were just being patient, taking them the way I have been with proper risk management, you've done very well. And then you decide to go for it on this one and just get wrecked, and all of that work was for nothing. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yep, not hard to undo even 16 winning trades in a row if you're going to be irresponsible on the 17th one, right?
It seems so simple, but it's one of those things that is very hard to get, you know?
Well, once it's your own money and you're at trading terminal, just you and the keyboard and the red and green buttons, you know, it seems simple, but then you get in there, emotion and greed and all this other stuff takes over, and we end up making, you know, a lot of foolish mistakes. So while these strategies seem simple on the surface, I think they're harder to execute than they look.
Again. I mean, it's as simple as this. When the candle closes and if it gives you a signal, enter. Why is that so hard? It really is, though. Like, that's the weird thing, because you're like, no. The signal is go when it says. I mean, even I try to sometimes. Like this weekend, I guarantee I'm probably going to get another one today. And over the weekend is notorious for just selling off, and then by Sunday we get bought back up. But since I'm already in a position right now, I think what I will do is wait on that position. If we do get a good sell-off over the weekend, I will then enter into the WADA strategy and then hopefully get more meat of the trade. So it's not necessarily that at this point I have multiple systems running, so I can actually fine-tune which signals that I want to take based on how risk-averse I want to be. So like right now, I'm just going to wait. If we get a pullback, I won't lose any money at all. I'll enter and then write it back up, and then if that stops out, it stops out. But you have to have a plan.
Yeah, well said. Good little spiel there. I liked it. I do see one comment just came in from Subtext, and it has to do with their link position being across margin and not isolated. Possibly should close this trade out, huh? Question mark. Yeah, nothing like getting your.
Well, I mean, if you're position sized correctly, then you're fine either way, because the same amount of your account is at risk. Because I mean, you weren't gonna liquidate your isolated margin position. You had a stop loss for it, and similarly, your stop loss would be at the exact same distance for the cross margin. So I think you're fine for your position. You're not in any more risk than you would have been as long as your stop is set. If you don't have a stop is set, then yes, there could be some catastrophic thing where price goes to zero and it would liquidate your entire account. But set a stop, and then I think you'll be fine.
Yep, well said. Let me take a look. You maybe while we're here, since we're on a topic of link and isolated margins, Jason, maybe you could put the link USD chart on. I'm assuming it's going to be like USD that we're looking at.
The darling. Link.
Link Marines. Out up.
Like that Red Dawn. Instead of Wolverines, it's Link Marines. All right, looking at Link with the 13 EMA system. This is back tested for BTC, but it does do well in crypto markets. Not nearly as well as BTC, but I can usually use it as a good gauge. Which funny thing is, Link seems to be following along with Bitcoin, actually pretty close in the sense that these signals are about the same day a couple days ago, and then price is running up right now as the same as Link, but would have had you in this trade at 12.62 with your first TP at 14.33, which would have hit today, which would already a beautiful trade. TP1 stop loss at break even, and now you're just riding it. Link does look good here. Looks strong. WADA, you got rising explosion level, showing you that there's enough momentum here. Time transformation seems nicely spaced apart. No pinching or anything yet. This looks strong for Link, in my opinion. What do you think, Alex?
I mean, we have a nice bottom above zero right there for the continuation signal.
Yep.
Yeah, everything signals. We got a WADA signal too. We got a Mink signal. Yeah, I mean,
And I do like that if you look at these, the signal from time transformation and Minx came at the same time. You will notice in other times that sometimes time transformation will catch it first or Minx, depending on your sensitivity settings. But I really do like the correlation of both of these signaling at the same time.
I think I remember talking about this. I remember saying that you could probably take Link to $16, and then we'd be facing pretty heavy
I
resistance.
do believe we said that right here because I was also charting it that day, and I remember looking at the long signal on Link. I'm like, this is a good long signal on Link. I'm like, maybe look for a baseline pullback. You'd have to go back to the video, but look at that, boom, baseline pullback. I mean, you actually might have TP'd right away. Baseline pullback, boom. You would have TP'd regardless of whether you faded it or just bought it. And then probably got stopped out at break even. Continuation long here gets you back in. TP1. I mean, Minx and time transformation are just killing Link right here.
To be fair, though, you were probably better off if you were in Bitcoin than you were in Link for this entire thing. Because if you look at Link Bitcoin, the Link Bitcoin ratio, you'll see it's stagnated or dropped. So we've just kind of I guess we kind of like creeped under support, now resistance here. I mean, it's so sideways. I wouldn't feel comfortable like shorting it or longing it, you know?
Yeah, very indecisive on the Link BTC chart. I wouldn't want to touch any of this. I mean, you do get a good reversal signal here from time transformation, but this could easily top above below zero.
Yeah. We're getting greatly reduced volatility too. It might,
Yep. And
might
look at
be a
this
big move
volume.
coming
Yep.
for Link.
Yeah, very well. Could be. Whether that's to the downside, well, I mean, I think the argument looking at this, I mean, you just wait for that break of trend on this because it could be to the upside here. Interesting things going to happen probably. I'm excited to see the weekend because I really do think that we'll kind of go a little sideways on Bitcoin and then, you know, the game's on for whatever's going to happen within the alts and the majors.
Yeah.
I think Ethereum will be the darling of the weekend though. Okay, we've got Link here. I think Link does look good for the Link BTC here. Not nearly as good, but you should already be in a Link trade. I wouldn't enter into it now myself based on my systems because the opportunity's already passed. But it does look like Link USDT.
If we got a breakup on Link Bitcoin, then I think that would be a signal to enter Link USDT again, perhaps. But there's just nothing to recommend Link Bitcoin at this time.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, there's not
and
more
therefore,
news.
there's no reason to take Link over just taking a Bitcoin position.
All right. Is there another request we got?
Let's take a look. I'm gonna. I noticed we have a new member. Well, new audience participant. Let's call him that in the live chat. Joey Rocket Crypto. He was asking about Jason's WADA strategy, right? So he was saying it's WAE. It's part of our premium indicator suite that we offer here at Cracking Crypto. I think we got a few comments in the live chat kind of clearing it up for Joey, but yeah, this is it's a solid strategy based off of this proprietary indicator we have here at Cracking Crypto, so you would have to be a premium member to utilize
it's a strategy tester.
Indeed. And yeah, hopefully some of the comments in the live chat answered Joey Rocket's question. Feel free to join us. Even if you don't want to go premium, be sure to check out our Discord. Just join our group, and you might get comfortable. Yeah, still hang out, still get comfortable, hang out with us, join the daily streams. More than likely going to learn a lot of useful information on trading, whether or not you're a premium member.
Looks like we're starting to get that pullback on the lower time frames.
As Damian Hughes says, Wi-Fi dipped 1.5%. If anyone's looking to load up, we got a request for EOS. Personally, I want to see EOS as well. What about Tezos? I was planning on swapping my Tezos to Uni, but now I'm trapped. Should I dump for Ethereum? Okay, maybe we'll look at the Tezos as well. I see CRO being asked, and
so what do we got first? We wanted to see EOS, USDT.
yeah, let's check out EOS first. I'm curious how that's looking. Maybe I need to get into a long now that things are looking so bullish market-wide.
Looks like we might.
I mean, this system would have had you in at 2.6. Yeah, but EOS does look strong here, definitely on the daily. It seems to be a front runner like Litecoin was yesterday.
No. It's not
Litecoin,
nearly as far along as Litecoin
you're right.
is.
Litecoin did move a lot more, didn't it? I mean, it's similar, but yeah, it definitely had a more aggressive move yesterday.
I mean, if you look at EOS Bitcoin, once again, it's just not there.
Yeah, man, that's just a
Brutal.
very sad chart for EOS.
Yeah,
man.
It's like just buy Bitcoin instead.
Yeah,
but
look at all those dots.
I'll admit today it put in a green one, but it could just put in like 5 more red ones after
that.
Look at that.
So
I wait for a firm
green. Yeah, break of trend at least.
For a firm reversal signal before hopping into EOS.
Yeah, look at time transformation on the 2-day, man. Oof. Just bleeding out.
I should have dumped it on that Google Cloud News. That was my last chance. That was it. This is it, guys. Like, Ethereum 2.0 is out. All these other smart contract platforms are gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, the moment is definitely passed for me on EOS. I would have to have been in EOS USDT, but also one of the reasons why I'm sticking to Bitcoin so exclusively lately is because of exactly what we're seeing. All this money coming out, and then even if you are trading alts, like Alex is pointing out, yes, you might be having a good trade, but the BTC valuation is dropping so much that it's either a wash or you're actually losing money.
There were some there were some alt markets that did very well against Bitcoin. DeFi and DeFi did really well against it. Some shit coins, but mostly the alts have languished.
Yes, for sure. Okay, EOS here. It's already passed for me. You should have already been in it. Your stop loss would be at break even. Actually, you probably would have stopped out already. Yeah, you would have. But in
Nice
terms of,
bottom above zero there on time transformation too.
yep, right as you got the long, and then you got a baseline pullback, and then you got your
Wonder if
TPs.
that wick
I mean,
would have stopped you out.
well, that's the thing. You would have right here. You would have entered. Your
Yep.
stop loss would have been here. You would have been fine. Boom, boom, boom. Then you would have hit TP1.
Yep.
Just barely not TP2, and then you would have put your stop loss to break even. Yes, you would have gotten stopped out right here, and that's fine. I mean, all we're trying to do is catch movements and build our equity. You don't. It's not about being right. It's not about riding it from the bottom to the top. Like, take your win, walk away, find the next one.
Good advice. Let's see here. I'm just going to quickly review a comment I saw up here. I thought it was interesting. Andrew says, Alex's bear energy gives me hope for a realistic charting world.
Yeah.
You hear that, Alex? You're like the manifestation of
the voice of reason.
Of the mystical bear energy.
And it's weird. I'm not bearish about Bitcoin in the long term. I'm just bearish about the world economy in the midterm. Do you guys understand what I mean? Like that's why I've been so bearish. It's not that I think there's anything wrong with Bitcoin or with the interest that institutions in the wider market have been showing Bitcoin, but the broader market and Bitcoin and stuff like that. I'm worried. Like I said, we were talking about it yesterday. People are suffering. People I know are suffering. Parents are suffering. People are out of work and stuff like that. I don't know. So I guess perhaps I shouldn't be as bearish as I have been. Certainly I've not made as much as I could have, but this is what it is.
I mean, he doesn't mean it in a bad way.
Yeah, and I think
not at all. It's just there was a certain person who complained about it today.
Triggered.
Really, yeah, you really got triggered today. But I still don't think that you need to defend that, because in the sense of what you're doing is you're just being conservative with your money. You're not just like, it's not that you're like, oh nope, it's got to go down. It's like, oh yes, this does feel like it's going to be topped out, but you're also not trading it. So it's not like you're trying to defend your bias. You're like, well, it looks like this might be gassed out, and that's where I'm leaning. But it's not bad to be conservative about what, like, some people are like, no, it's got to go up, it's got to go down, it's got. I think you're just being more risk on.
Yep, and
risk averse.
And as Andrew points out in the live chat, I think he appreciates that or likes that about Alex and probably what we bring here. We're not just moon boys who are FOMOing into every green candle. I'm sure we're trying to bring across a bit of objective, professional, responsible type approach.
The funny thing is, like, when new members join and they reach out to me just to talk, advice, stuff like that, I always tell them, like, hey man, if you came here for a get rich quick scheme, like, you're gonna be disappointed, because that's not what this is. This is just this place teaches you how to make consistent gains over the course of your life. It's how to teach people how to create your own bankroll. It's not about getting rich quick. And I mean,
indeed,
I'm just happy that we now, in this time, we have a market like Bitcoin that gives us these opportunities. It's how I keep my enthusiasm up.
Indeed.
And waking up to take profits helps too.
All right, Jason, you see that comment from Boris Bitcoin? He's asking for the next request. Although we probably have a few more, I should probably scroll up and take. But
OMG.
Yep, the OMG one from Boris at Bitcoin. We've been going about 40 minutes though, so we got about 20 minutes left in the show. So if you're arriving a little late, dear audience, we were only going to go like an hour today. We're going to keep it casual. It's a Friday, so we may not get to every last request. I know we do a lot of requests, but it's part of the show, so we may kind of take it easy on the request today. Just a heads up to anybody in the audience, if we don't get to your chart, that's why. But let's see what Boris Bitcoin.
All right. Well, OMG USDT actually does look pretty interesting here on my 13 EMA system. It seems to be confirming all the way across. WADA is above the dead zone. We have a rising explosion level, TT crossover, Mink signaling long. You will have to wait for this candle to close because I do believe you're going to get a better entry if you wait. I think that you're a little tiny bit overextended right now. If it were to close like this at this level, I think it's a little too far from the baseline to take a full risk position. I would probably take it down to about 0.5% risk. If it does pull back to the baseline, I think that you'll be absolutely good for a full risk position, which I do believe you will get some kind of pullback, whether that be today or tomorrow. Some ways that you can play this is the baseline pullback. If you do get the signal today and you don't want to take it right there, what you would do is look at where the baseline is on the next candle. This one is telling me that the baseline would be about 3.36. So, I mean, I would be comfortable probably putting a pullback around like 3.4 if this does signal again today, and then you could ride it up to about 3.84 for TP1, which, I mean, that's going to be a great movement. It's very interesting that this looks like a great signal today. We should look at the BTC pairing as well.
I agree. But yeah, I mean, it looks like a go on time transformation and Minks.
I mean,
No
you're getting
WADA.
all the signals there. I think you are getting WADA here.
We don't have a rising explosion line.
I believe we did. On
Oh, wait, no.
USDT.
Oh, wait, no.
Oh,
That's so weird.
dude, it was a second ago. It's literally flickering right now.
Okay. All right. So
So
I feel
yes, we are very close, but like I said, I do think that you need to wait for the daily to close on this. I think that you're a little overextended. This is going to be an interesting signal. I mean, you might be in the same boat as Link with the BTC pairing. We're just not sure. It might be a better decision to stay in Bitcoin, but this does look like a good signal on USDT.
it could be a double bottom on the Bitcoin pairing here.
GPTC. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, on the Bitcoin pairing.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Bitcoin pairing.
Okay.
Double bottom here. Where was the low? I mean, I do like this area for sure. Prices hung around there for quite a while. We could, yeah. I don't think you're. Based on the USDT pairing in this, I don't hate this. But that's going to be to each his own on whether you choose to take a position in OMG USDT. I simply just can't tell you if it's going to be a better play than just Bitcoin. But as for signals, it does look good.
All right. I couldn't help but notice as Alex's doppelganger is in the live chat. We got an Alex Pearson saying, "Wow, what am I doing with my life? I should have just owned waves."
I always thought
No,
that
that's not my
was just.
doppelganger. That's one of my other accounts. That
I was gonna say, I always thought that was just
No, that's
Alex.
okay. Yeah. No, it's Damian Hughes pointed out. No, it wasn't Damian. B-Flow pointed out waves. Go look at Waves USDT right now if you want to. If you want to also be saying what I just said.
Making waves, baby.
All right, so just so we're clear though, the Alex Pearson in the chat's not you, right?
It is him.
No, it is me. It's one of my accounts.
Oh,
I have
okay,
3 accounts.
You. Okay.
One of that I use to like the show.
All right.
You guys, please no one report me to YouTube. I'm a what can I say? I'm a rebel. But so I've got an Alexander Pearson and an Alex Pearson. So I didn't notice.
Too late. They're already dispatching a drone strike your way.
God, I mean, yeah, waves. I mean, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole based on the price appreciation so far. But yeah, damn.
But yeah, what am I doing with my life? Just should have been in waves the whole time, guys.
Why am I trying by charting every day and looking for signals? Just buy waves.
Should have just aped in. Come on.
Yeah,
Boris Bitcoin says thank you for your thoughts on OMG. I'm not sure. As far as waves is concerned, I think we're kind of overextended here, so I'm not sure if we're really going to have much to do here in terms of.
I mean, here's the thing. Look at how far we've traveled on this. You don't buy at the top, like you're buying a top, man. And even if this isn't a top, it's just a bad decision. And if you regularly practice those types of things, you're not going to be doing this very long.
Yes.
Yep, but if you caught that one, congratulations.
Oh yeah.
We're just gonna sit here and gawk at the chart for a little bit.
Cheers to anyone hodling waves.
All right. All right. Bit of talk about waves. I might have to do my research on waves. I'm still not 100% sure what it is that waves does.
You know, at this point, there's so
It
many
goes
alts.
up.
There's so many alts. I don't know what any of them do anymore.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
too many.
I got a good idea for like Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that. But for half of them at this point, I'm lucky if I can remember if it's an Oracle or supply chain or what. There's just way too many. We look at every day.
Indeed.
Sure.
All right. Let me review a couple more comments here. What's
Looking at ADAUSDT, Smiles just put up.
Yep.
He says looking very similar to OMG in his opinion.
Agreed.
I would disagree in the oscillator sense because we did get a signal much earlier on this one, and now we're just getting a continuation signal. I do like this higher high out of this, which at today the way I would look at this is I would already be in a signal from here. And since the baseline held, if today holds this level, I would say that this would be a buying opportunity. At today's close, I like that we're starting to get some rising explosion level. Watt is beginning to creep up. We still got like, what, 5 hours of this day. I do like this for continuation on the daily. I think you're getting in right at the perfect time because these signals rarely work out right on the next candle. So you usually deal with some kind of drawdown, but the baseline holding like this, I think, is primed for continuation, which would put your first TP around 5.62. Did you? No, you did not hit that. So yeah, I do like Adam here on the continuation long. Adam BTC. Ugh. I mean, all the BTC pairings, man. And that's just one of those things. Like, yes, the USDT does look good. If Bitcoin decides to do a little pullback, I think that the BTC pairing and the USD pairing, USDT pairing might range, but I think we'll get something out of the BTC pairing. I'm with Alex on this though. I don't think it's going to be the best move on what's happening with Bitcoin. But as for the USDT, it's a good signal. All of the
Nice.
indicators are there.
Yep, Smiles J says, you're right about Adam. Thank you. I didn't look at the daily. So well done highlighting the daily chart on Adam.
It's the best one to trade, man. And that's why we teach people here, like, if you're going to build a system, start on the daily. Because the important part is learning what you're doing. And once you learn the daily, you learn what to look for, stuff like that, you start to get this intuitive sense of, okay, I know this signal. Now if I go to the lower time frames, I know I'm going to start seeing this or that. Once you get used to that, I mean, the daily is the best way to do it if you're just starting, because then it's less stress, less time. You're going to see how it works. And then once you get good at that, start dialing in. Then you get into the 4 hour, and then all of a sudden you're scalping. And then, I mean, it's a real domino effect, and I guess I'm just lucky that I happen to be obsessed with it as well.
Yeah, definitely smart to begin around daily strategies in order to get your feet wet in the trading game. Certainly smart to manage it that way. And
to kind of dip your toes as to what you're going to deal with emotionally, because whether we like to believe it or not, this is an incredibly emotional thing that we're doing. And getting yourself ready, engaged for that stress, to deal with it, to see how your butt, like, there's been so many times that I've literally been physically sweating staring at a screen for no reason. Like, that's ridiculous. It's amazing the effect that it does have on you, and dipping your toe into it just to kind of get you ready for it is much better than going in and losing a ton of money, washing out, and then hating it.
for sure, and it's one thing when you're kind of young and reckless. When you're 20 something, you can definitely ride a roller coaster for a while. But if you want to be a long-term trader, you're eventually going to
Because
get
you have
burned
more
out like
time to
that.
build up the capital again. That's why 50-year-old investor is going to invest much differently than a 20-year-old.
Yeah, and like you said, it takes almost a physical toll on you. So if you can't really maybe separate yourself emotionally from from the trading, you do have to be kind of cold, Terminator-like in your approach, because otherwise it's gonna have a huge emotional drain. And again, if you're like 20 something, you might be able to keep that up for 6 months or a year, 2 years. But once you get a little older or you have enough years in it, that kind of pace will burn you out. It's not a recipe for
It's
long-term
inevitable.
success.
The data doesn't lie, man. There's a reason why like 95 to 98% of people fail at this. And I believe it's because the education was designed not to be there for people so they could be dumped on all the time. I think that if we were to educate ourselves on how to do this, if like say schools were focusing on this, like what we're trying to do is teach people how to do this the right way instead of hoping for $1 million shit like that. Just solid growth over the course of your life and you'll never have to work for anyone ever again. I mean, that's the
Indeed.
dream, right?
And as subtext says in the, sorry, Alex, were you saying something? We gotta get Alex get a word in.
No, that's the dream. Although I did have something I wanted to say before I forgot. Jason, speaking of major alts that were making new highs, if we check out XRPUSDT, we're above the previous swing high, and the Bitcoin pairing looks pretty good. So
make a new high here.
Yeah. So before I forget, let's look at XRP2 on Jason's screen.
Yep. 32,628. We haven't quite cracked that yet, but this does look strong. You got basically a take profit long off of a great continuation signal, which would have just cleaned house. TP take profit, and then I bet you on today's close you're going to get another continuation signal, which would be a little bit risk on. I think that if it did close this way, giving you a CL, which today it won't, I don't believe, but tomorrow definitely. So keep an eye on XRP tomorrow because I think you will get a baseline tap. And if you do get continuation, this is going to be a great setup. You like the Bitcoin pairing?
I like the Bitcoin pairing here, yeah.
Okay. Sorry. XRP, BTC. Ooh, I like that a lot better because that's tight to the baseline. Ooh, this is a great signal today. Yep. And this is one of the only examples where you see the Bitcoin pairing leading the charge of the pair, because everyone else you see the
didn't have this. BCH doesn't look like this.
They look good on the daily for USDT, but not BTC. So scrap those two. I think the one to be looking at this weekend would be XRP. Great eye on that one. Yeah, because today that's a full-blown signal right here, and I love how tight you are to the 13. I don't think you're going to get much of a pullback at all. I think that this is going to be a great entry tonight, which I might enter myself.
There you have it, folks.
There you have it.
A little bit of fun with XRP over the weekend, people.
All right, I got a comment here from Subtext. Proper risk management using CC's position size tools have shaved off that massive anxiety I used to get when I got into improperly sized positions. Indeed, that's one of the things we try and teach around here. It really is risk management. I know once you get introduced to these ideas, they seem quite obvious, but
let's be honest. It's the lesser sexy side of trading. No one's going out there like, look how well I risk managed, and like it's just not. You got the people online like, look how much money I made, look how blah 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 blah. It's all about risk management, man. Like that's the whole game, capital preservation. And I sound like a broken record saying that, but that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Like I tell most new students, your initial thing should not be how much money am I going to make this month. At the very beginning, your goal should be to break even or make a little bit of money. Like if you're doing that, you're definitely on the right path.
I remember those days where I would market 10,000 contracts up and down all day long, losing tons of money. Those were brutal. Then I found CC, of course, and I guess it started putting the picture together for me. Next, I see GBU Professor Wally. He's got a comment here. This had to do with our Terminator discussion. He says the Terminator trader will say, "I'll be bot testing."
I'll be bot testing. This would have been someone did ask for ETC here, and then I'll get GBU Wally. This would have been a beautiful trade. Right here, you get your long signal. Boom, enter, TP1, TP2, TP3. and then you get your pullback right now, got bought back up all the way to here. I think that you'd be out of this trade right now. ETC is a little too far for me. I think that you're probably going to get another baseline pullback here, but interesting that it's holding above this moving average. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you could get continuation out of ETC as well, and it does seem to be a little bit of a juggernaut lately compared to the rest of them. BTC, let's just check that Bitcoin pairing, see how it's got to be, oh, well, that's super interesting again, man. This would not have been a good long signal on ETC, so you would not have taken it, and that immediately would have paid off. But, I mean...
So this pumped into that ETC news that I mentioned about wrapped Ethereum wrapped Ethereum Classic.
But yeah, as for, I think ETC gets in the same realm here as OMG and Link on their BTC pairings are just not there, but the USDT looks all right. But the ETC is already past gone, so I would take ETC out of my list for the weekend. Looks like GBU Wally with the $15. Thank you, my friend. Looking for REPUSD. All right. Looking back at rep on the 24-hour, this would have closed a little too high for my liking. So if I did take any kind of position on it, it would have been half risk. You would still be in that position currently on a continuation long to the upside. The way that this is building, I do like that this EMA is coming through here as support. Very tight little white noise on this. I think rep also looks pretty good for continuation, and you might be able to get a better entry right
I like
now.
the decreasing selling volume on the pullback there. As yeah, it's a good sign.
Absolutely. I think rep looks pretty good, man. Let's look at the BTC pairing. Oh, that does not. So yeah, it seems like
let's invert that. Let's look at the inverse.
Yeah, that looks like some solid support right here for continuation to the downside. So
yep.
Yeah, this I wouldn't touch rep BTC. You might get some appreciation out of the USD pairing, but you might end up worse for wear taking that with the Bitcoin bleeding out this way. So I would avoid this. Okay. One out.
I got a comment I was going to quickly read if you got another minute. I got one from excuse me, Andrew here, and it says the reason I got into Justin's material was his balance in face of Moon Boy stuff. Feels much more balanced this time than, or he feels much more balanced this time than he did in 2017 when long-term projections were going parabolic on YouTube. So Andrew definitely likes our more reasonable approach. Obviously, when like things get so frothy, people start losing their minds, and the euphoria kind of spreads to all the retail traders, and they end up, by the time the cycle's over, they end up feeling kind of demoralized or dejected. So it's good to kind of be prepared mentally in advance of these bull runs. So you don't end up feeling like a retail sucker the way you may have in 2017 based on your comment. Let me see here. Have we looked at it?
I completely agree with that sentiment, and I can say, as someone who used to just be a viewer of this show, that's the exact same reason why I joined as well. Is because I'm not a moon boy. I'm not one of these people like, oh, 100 exit to whatever. I'm like, no, this is something that can be done, that you can create a living from if you do it and take it seriously. And that's what I really loved about Justin coming to the show, is he carried himself very well, and I could tell that he knew what he was doing, and that when he would demonstrate what he was doing, I'm like, this is how it's supposed to be done. You're not supposed to be just moon boy and all this stuff. And I will say it every time, I'm not a moon boy, but I do expect Bitcoin to go up very high over the next 10 years. But I think this approach is the best one.
Yep, always have to remain on the defense. Got to remain cautious out there. We're talking about money and livelihoods here, so
let's be real. The market is a giant place of everyone trying to take your money.
Yep.
If you lose, someone else wins. If you win, someone else loses. You need to remember that. It's a dog-eat-dog world.
I would like to respectfully, partially disagree with that. Yes, you are taking other people's money, but it's not as direct as that. Like, I'm a former poker player. Like, I understand that when you sit down at the poker table, you better be willing to take grandma's social security check, because she is certainly willing to take your rent money. So, but the truth of the markets is a little different, because you can sell something to someone, make a huge profit on it, and then they can turn around and end up making a huge profit on it, and then the third person can turn around, make a huge profit on it, and then the fourth person loses everything owning it. So it's did you somehow steal money from this person in the future? I agree that ultimately the market is zero sum for a trader. Money goes in, money comes out. It's not the same for investors. Obviously, the whole idea of investing is like for growth. That's not zero sum. But the thing I like about trading, to bring this back around, is that because we're not all sitting at a table playing against each other, we're not taking money from each other, and we can support each other in a way that you just can't do in some of the other like some of the other I guess professional gambling arenas, like poker, or backgammon even.
Yep. Well said, Alex. That's it was worth bringing up, because I do kind of concur with that. I don't know if it's entirely zero sum like that, even if it kind of is, but
I just keep that in mind.
Indeed,
like when I'm trading, because at the end of the day, it's a competition against other people trading. I mean, yes, it's not nearly that directly to the point as Alex is bringing up, and I don't really think about it as I'm stealing someone's money. They were the one who put it up, and
Yep, but honestly, it is a fair point though, guys, in the sense that crypto, particularly alts, are full of retail suckers, and to some degree,
that's why they work.
To some degree or another, unfortunately, that is what happens, right? And to those individuals who end up holding the alt bag at the bottom while Bitcoin pumps, this is just a reminder, and it might be a rather bitter one, but you should be stacking your Bitcoin too, right? It's nothing wrong with having the moon bag and like a Hail Mary bag, but you may also want to allocate some of your portfolio to like safer, longer term investment bets like Bitcoin. That way, if your alt moon scenario doesn't play out the way you wanted to, you still have something to potentially fall back on, right? So that's kind of what I'm pointing out. And again, alt's kind of risque, and I think a lot of people within the alt space are kind of aware that sometimes you're just dumping hot bags of garbage onto retail, and it's a sorry game, but it is what it is.
Seems like an appropriate time to play that little bubble song.
Yeah. Joey Rocket, I saw, was asking about 3 commas. Do we use 3 commas? What do we think of 3 commas? Let's get a few little.
I love 3 commas.
Phenomenal. Binance is very useful without 3 commas.
Oh yeah, set it and forget it, baby. I love 3 commas.
2 thumbs up for 3 commas around here.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I think I've got a 3 commas referral link that I'm going to throw in there. It's a CC referral link. It's not my own personal one.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Joey Rocket asks, I'm planning on working towards trading for income with slow and steady strategies, so I'm wondering if 3 commas will be good for this. So I guess what he's asking is 3 commas geared more for like high volume traders, or do you think
it's geared toward any way you want to trade, man? And if you're building long-term systems and stuff like that, you don't want to be managing all these different positions. So once you get a signal, you have all of the data there, put it into 3 commas and wait for an alert.
All right.
Trust me, 3 commas is definitely worth it. If you want to try to get into any type of trading or anything like that, I mean, even if it's just passive income, 3 commas is going to be worth its weight in gold.
Yep. All right. We're going to have to do last
request. They won't let me post the 3 commas link for some reason?
No, they know you're shilling.
Probably because you're using one of your doppelgangers, bro. You got to get in. You got to make sure you're posting.
No, I switched back to my main one, I swear.
Oh yeah, it's because I deleted them. I blocked them all.
Well, here, Jack.
I can't allow for duplicate accounts on my live chat. I don't care if you're part of the staff.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Hey, I warned you. But yeah, we're heading kind of toward the close. We can only squeeze in the last few. I know Jason said he had to dip after an hour, so I'm gonna put one more on Jason's head.
I'm getting all my hair cut off.
Oh yeah. You're getting that crazy mop on your head trim back, eh?
The funny thing about Crow here, man, Kyle Mitchell, thank you for the €5. Yeah. He wanted to look at Crow. Crow's actually pretty interesting here, and I know, Jack, you have a little bit of a vested
I say
interest in
solid
Crow.
signal.
Yeah, I mean, you're even getting reaction off of the BTC pairing as well. You're getting a little bit of an upward movement here, not nearly as strong as XRP, but on the same boat, I would say. I think Crow looks great here. Wait till the daily because I think that it's overextended right now.
All right. He said he also wanted us to talk about the fundamentals.
I think he means the stake change and the future of the project. And as T-Dub
that would
says,
definitely be Jack's alley.
Yeah, well, I'm not following it super closely, but as T-Dub points out, the CRO mainnet launch on December 2nd too, right? So as people may be aware, they consolidated and kind of got rid of the MCO coin and blockchain, kind of folded it into their CRO token and blockchain, and I guess that mainnet for that is going to launch December 2nd. So that's a big development incoming. And the other thing Kyle Mitchell pointed out, in regards to fundamentals, was the stake changes. I think he refers to the different tiers of CRO that you have to stake in order to get the cards. Those have been rejigged again, but it makes sense, right? Because it's like, if the CRO has, is a third of its original, well, not original, but let's say it's a third of its price where it was when they rebalanced the tiers last time. Well, go figure. They had to jack the prices, I think, 2.5x last time I checked. So like, I think one of the mid-tier cards used to be 10,000 CRO, now it's 25,000 CRO. So clearly the tiers reflect the 2.5x drop in price, I suppose.
I agree. Yeah.
But still potentially solid pickup at this spot, especially looking at that chart with the way Jason pointed it out. Looks pretty damn good. Okay, guys, I don't know how many more we can squeeze in here. Oh yeah, we definitely have to do rep USD.
I have rep USD on the chart right now on the 1 hour.
Let's do it, yeah, because he did do a super chat for that one, so I can't let that one rest.
This trading range does look strong. I do think that there's evidence here that this is now resistance come support after we boom ranged in this area. Of course, we have resistance here, but now we got a lot of price absorption happening on this EMA, which I do believe you will test this range again. This sits at 15.89. I do believe that if I was looking to trade this on the hourly, I'd be looking for that pullback down to around 15.9, and then I would take it to this continuation. So I'd probably take it up to the first TP of 16.45. If I was trading the hourly here, I really do think that this channel is going to hold based off of all of these tests. The hourly, as it lays now, not signaling. You actually just got a short signal, but not confirmed through WADA, so do nothing. But I really do think that you're going to get the pullback to here and then continuation to the upside. So rep looks okay, I think, but again, like, this actually would defend the idea that I had here on looking to get in this on this continuation long, because you're getting a baseline pullback. The baseline is holding, and if you go down to the hourly, it does look like we could get a little bit further downside and then a continuation to the upside. So, I mean, looking at rep USDT, I think over the weekend it'll be very interesting to watch. I think you will get appreciation out of the rep USDT or USD. As for the Bitcoin pairing, I just don't know. It doesn't look like it's following along like XRP and the last one we looked at, Crow. Those two are definitely standouts. I'd be looking at Crow and XRP for sure.
Yeah, those did look good. I'm glad we covered those in today's update. GB Wally says, okay, glad to hear the analysis on the 1 hour rep USD. That's the same as I was seeing, a smallish channel that seems prime for a few percent rise in the near term. Cool, Wally. I'm glad you liked our analysis. Hopefully it concurs and that trade works out well. Joey Rocket says, I'm in a big trade on ETHUSD, thinking about taking profits. Unsure. Entry was 471. Thoughts? Maybe.
471.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Is it time to take profit on Ethereum?
471. Yeah, I would. I mean, if you're nervous about the position and you don't want, and you're worried about losing profit, take 50% off and move
That's
your
like
stop
a
loss to break even.
4-hour.
Oh
That's like a
shit! Sorry.
4-hour trade. I would just wait for.
You're right. You're right. Sorry.
No, no.
I like this actually.
What, on the 4-hour?
I'm looking at the daily now, like ETUSDT. Like this looks like a great
Oh.
ascending triangle, throwback, breakout.
Yeah, I agree. So we're definitely. I mean, it's a new high. We've broken above the old high. We're retesting the resistance of a previous consolidation area. Looks good here. If your entry is 471, this is more like a 4-hour trade, and in which case I would just take profits, set my entry to break even, and then just let it ride, man.
And if you look at this 4-hour chart that I'm looking at on ETHUSDT, I think that we're a little overextended up the baseline. I think you will get a pullback here to the top of this range. So looking at that, I mean, if you do take profit, take 50% off, and then hey, put another buy down at like 490, and then if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, close the trade out. But at least you took some profit.
Well, go figure.
And you're not losing it on the way down, because I do think you're going to get a pullback.
As Boris Bitcoin says, can't go broke taking profits. Yeah, well said. And T-Dub says, well, his short was triggered at 471, so we got two members going in opposite directions from the same entry, so good luck, boys. Joey Rocket says it's a pretty good size trade, just thinking about 50%. It's a bit bigger than normal trade. Yeah, man, if you're already kind of deep in there, bro, unless you're going for the full Hail Mary, you might as well consider taking some profit, bro.
And that's what I'll say, Joey, about that is what I just put in there. If that's something that you can't be doing, because you're going to keep doing that, because guess what? This time it worked out. Like, it's a much bigger size than normal, but it worked out, so it's okay. If you continue to do stuff like that, there's going to be a time where it's not okay, and it's going to wipe all your profits. So anytime that you even admittedly know that it's a little bit more, that tells me that you're not managing your risk appropriately. So I would take off some of that position for sure.
Yeah, sounds like you're due for a 50% profit taking at least, bud.
At least.
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked out for you, but those type of practices are what's going to get you into trouble in the future.
Yep, and if you're lucky enough to just haphazardly find your way into such a profitable trade, don't think twice about taking some profit or even closing it.
You will regret it, I promise. So, that's inevitable.
Papa Jason laying down the law.
A little bit.
Yeah, Jason in his form today. I like it. Today was a good episode with Jason on the charts. It was good.
I did my best.
I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Could have to get.
But speaking of which, I do got a dip, guys.
Yeah.
I said I'd probably have to get out at 1:15. It was great hanging out with you guys. Great Friday this weekend. It's probably going to be pretty exciting. Keep an eye on XRP and Crow in the alt markets. I do like those. Ethereum looks like a killer this weekend. Bitcoin. I kind of siding with Alex on this one. I think we get a pullback over the weekend. We don't break the baseline. We consolidate, range in this, and let everything else catch up. That's how I'm playing it. I got my TPs, my stop loss at break even. I can't lose this weekend, so let's have a good weekend. Bitcoin's at 18K, guys.
All right,
guys, that's it.
Thanks, everyone.
It's been a good one. Thank you again to Jason. And
absolutely.
All right,
feel free to DM me if you guys want to get my thoughts over the weekend.
Yeah, let me know how the haircut goes.
Oh, you'll see it.
Thank you all so much for stopping by the show again. We love you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you to Jason. Thank you to our other analyst, Alex. Gave Alex a little bit of a break today. Had Jason working the charts for a change.
Stepping it up. And I thought it would be good for you guys to kind of see a little bit more of the systems building. Like, I'm not necessarily a technical analyst in that I just look at like price movements and stuff like that. I like the systems build. I like to follow the rules, stuff like that. It's a little bit different than how Alex approaches it, but I think both of them together gives a really good collaborative effort at looking at the markets.
Indeed. All right, guys. I think that's going to have to be it. I'm just going to shout out the last few people still in the chat. As GBU Professor Wally
Thanks a lot,
says.
Hey, is my screen still live by chance?
Yeah, you're still live. What's up?
Yeah.
I wanted to show this just
Let's
because
take
when
a
I
look.
first got into trading, I made what I call my first indicator, and I can't really say what it is right now because you guys will get it. Let's just see if it's still here. I drew this back in February of 2019, I do believe. And if you just take a look at this, it really killed it. So,
Talking about this channel you drew, or what are we talking about?
yes. So, if you look at it real quick, hold on. If you can spot it, when this is where price was when I drew this. So it's at 3,170. And if you look real closely, hold on. Let's just see if we can get Bitcoin to disappear. This isn't going to be nearly as funny as it was supposed to be, but if you look real close, it followed that it's what I call my send nudes indicator. And it nailed it, guys. It just nailed it.
What?
And I'm telling you, I drew that, and of course people got on me because they couldn't read that it says send nudes. They're like, price can't go backwards, you idiot. And I thought that was just very funny.
Okay, now I finally see it.
Yeah,
Okay, now it's
but
coming into frame.
if you look, I called the breakout pretty goddamn close. I just thought that was
nice
funny.
little channel you drew there, Mr.
Yeah, so this is what it looked like back in February.
Yeah, so he drew it out correctly. Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. I just thought you guys would think that it was funny.
I think the guys at JP Morgan need to hire you as their lead channel drawer.
They're like, look at this idiot. He's just fucking drawing things, and then skip to the future.
This man draws channels better than anybody else.
I love it. But anyways, it was great hanging out with you guys today. I got to get going. Trade safely, everyone. I just thought that was funny to show.
Yeah, man. All right, dude. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you. Cheers. Yep. All right. Joey Rocket came in at the last second with $10 super chat. Thank you to Joey Rocket. Glad you joined the community. It's nice to have fresh faces around here. I'm assuming you hit the subscribe already, bud. So hit the like if you haven't either. And that goes for the rest of you in the live chat as well. If you guys have been watching this whole time and you're still tuned in, we only got 43 likes. So click that like button. And if you click dislike, for God's sake, undo the dislike. Click the other one.
People watching. Just saying.
And Jordan.
Some of you out there.
Jordan A says good hunting to Midwest. Norman, peace and thanks. Trader says cheers, boys. Jordan A, enjoy. Boris Bitcoin, thanks to all. Subtext says thanks, guys. T-Dub, thumbs up to the team. And everybody in the chat. Smiles J says goodbye. Not exactly goodbye. Prophet Bear, thanks for the true honesty. Always, that's what we do around here. We try to come to you with integrity.
We have the true. We bring you true.
True. Why is this funny? Okay, hold on. Gonna skip that part. Let's see here. Everybody's saying thank you. T-Dubs, Smiles J. Alright, I think I shouted out everybody. Thanks again, everybody. I'm sorry if we didn't get to your request today, although I think we kind of got most of them. We're going to be back on Monday. Be sure to check out our Discord, discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. We're going to be watching some UFC tomorrow on Saturday night, as usual, so, make yourselves available Saturday evening. Catch us in the premium voice. But that's about it. We're going to head to the exits now. Final goodbyes. And that's it. Jordan A. Does it count if I like it on my Weeb account? Yeah, you grab your body pillow and slam that thumbs up.
Yeah, grab your body pillow and your fedora, hug it tight, and press the like button, guys.
Okay, Joey Rockets, he's been here since day one, but he's a lurker. Okay, well, welcome back. Welcome into the light of day, Joey. It's going to be nice to have you actively in here. I look forward to seeing you next week. Same goes to the rest of you. Going to the exit now, for real. This is where I press the exit button. Good game, everybody. See you on Monday. Cheers.
Yeah.